And we have one Mr. Mohan Das Shanmugam, who was the ex-veterinary, who says you are a great inspiration for him. So
Thank you.
we have a question from Deepthi Vij Vora, who wants to know, can you suggest some good food testing centers in South India, around the world, food research and test centers across the world and all that? I don't know whether we'll be able to answer that question
No,
right now
that's
here.
not certainly something I have, but maybe Ty can take it up and provide some help. Our
Yeah,
support.
sure.
Ty?
Sure. Sure. We can have, Saurav, we can unmute some of the people. If any of you want to ask this question directly, I mean, I've been reading out your question from chat and asking, but we could also allow you to ask the question, a few of you, for the next few minutes. So if anyone wants to ask a question, please, think. Bala Murli, can you unmute Bala Murli, please, Saurav?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Balamurli. How are you?
Sir, I'm fine, sir. Happy to get in touch with you, sir. For past 1 hour, very lot of news I get from you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I am a fresh investor. Want to invest in share market due to business slowdown. Any good healthcare stocks? Not particularly invest, like any good names I need, sir. Investments view, sir.
Yeah, right now, I think all the healthcare stocks that are publicly traded are attractive valuation. In the diagnostic space, you should track Dr. Lal. You should also look at Thyrocare, which has gone public, and Metropolis. These three are traded in NSE, and I'm sure they are traded in BSE. Apollo Hospital is at a very good valuation today. Narayana Hridayalaya is also down. And if you look at several insurance companies also are, I mean, across the board, the market is very attractive. So healthcare, I would say, is a good bet. Pharma companies, of course, with IPCA and others who are sending chloroquine outside, they have started booming up. But companies like Biocon, they are at a low. And Cipla is a hot stock. It has come down. The pharma index has come down substantially. So I think there is plenty of opportunities, and the healthcare sector will grow. So I see good returns that is going to come potentially from overall healthcare, including pharma.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, I am into MSME sector business, food business, sir. I want to, due to this COVID, I can't able to travel all over my other places and meet the clients or my co-staffs. So I want to directly ask details through online, sir, virtual. So for due to MSME, I have no idea what are the things need to ask, like checklist, anything I want to know, sir.
In terms of, I would say that if you're talking to employees, generally be compassionate, but be careful also that you cannot solve all the problems that are there today. None of us can, however big we are or small we are. I think, but helping would mean at least listening to them, but not allowing that to let you make promises that you cannot keep with employees. With customers, I would say that generally keep sending text and see if you can pick up the phone and talk to them. I think relationship is more important in these stages than transaction and business. And generally start communicating if they are doing all right, their family is doing all right, and keep that channel of communication open. That would help you significantly. And if there is anything that you could do for them, if you have any support staff in that area, such as if they want access to some medicine, if there is any way you can provide that help, go out of the way, because best of the relationship and businesses are not done with logic. They are done with emotions. I know of a large deal in my days in EDS that we won against a very tough competitor where we didn't have any expertise in one sector, in the hospitality sector. We won a very large deal, partly because our sales guy got him a Cuban cigar that was banned in America at that time, and this guy was a big fan of Cuban cigars. So he found out and he got it. I know of a sales guy in Medall who made sure that he got a ticket to a doctor who wrote a lot of prescriptions but was not writing to Medall. He got him a ticket every Friday night. He used to go from Chennai to Kadapa. He got that ticket for him, and that was the way the business was built. So relationships are very important, and it is not always commercial that wins.
Sir, and
Priya, you can do the Saramati, Egil, and Ravi in that order if you can. You could unmute Saramati, Egil, Ravi. Okay, these are some people who wanted to ask questions.
Charumati, you are unmuted.
Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Charumati. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm basically from healthcare, trained in healthcare, and I'm right now. We are a startup working on a solution to do costing and data analytics for healthcare. Basically, we are working on finding out the true cost of the procedures and costing of the facility and equipment, so as to help the hospital to get the insights to save their cost, improve their process optimization, and to help them in their marketing strategies as well as utilization strategies. If we come to you, come and ask for such a service from your side to take us to provide the service for you, what will be the factor on which you will decide to give the project to us? I just would like to gauge the our client's mind from you.
No, I think domain expertise in the field would be the first one that we would look at.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say domain expertise, let's say I am an hospital owner and you are coming in, you already kind of have a benchmark on what my ICU cost should be. Come in and say, sir, your current revenue is 9,000 rupees a day and your cost is 7,000. If you can hit with some specific numbers, that will perk my interest to say you have the domain expertise. But if you come and generally talk and say you are a cost consultant, I would not be able to trust you that immediately and share my cost with you. So you need to have a presentation that will say, we have worked, this is the general cost, this is what potentially we can bring the cost, and how can I increase your revenue? I can increase your revenue by doing A, B, and C. And in most of these hospitals have an insurance contract also. Within the scope of the insurance contract, how can you increase the revenue per bed? If that happens, I think you will get people very, very excited to listen to your story.
Thank you very much, sir. But even to come to that, yes, I had worked with the hospitals, large size hospitals, on the same subject. But for me, as an entrepreneur or as a startup to go and present, I need to have at least 1 or 2 case studies, right, for us to go and come and talk to you. Like we say, I have done with so and so hospitals. That right now we are working. When we may not have your data, but we can talk about the other few clients with whom we are working. Even that would do. Is that you are trying to say? Like when I say we worked with XYZ hospital, this is that it is probably without mentioning the hospital.
You have data to perk the interest.
Okay.
Right? Or specific process issues that are hampering. Simple things like scheduling of staff nurses, specialized anesthesiologists in theater room scheduling. If you have specific business models that will show, if you did A, B, and C, your overall revenue will go up. Then you are a consultant. Otherwise, you are a consultant who is learning from a customer and only friends who own hospitals will allow you to come in.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
All
we
the,
can
all the best, sir.
Yeah,
we
thank
can
you.
go to the next one, Priya. Maybe Yadil, Ravi, and then Ram and Rajgopal.
Yeah.
Can I request you to be very crisp and quick in the interest of time? We can accommodate more questions. Thank you.
Hello, sir. I just have a question. Thing is, since I was asking that question in in the chat section also, I was asking about Stackover website. So this Stackover website is a domain which is there for the IT people. For example, I have a problem in my computer. So there are a lot of people could have been suggested the solution for that. So same similar things. Can I make a website where for medical things? For example, there are certain doctors while doing their PhDs, they could have done some research on certain medicines. So those things will be published on that particular website. Maybe the same, the same similar thing. Another doctor is looking for a solution. For example, this particular pandemic situation, we are looking for a solution to come out of this situation, right? For that, how to get a solution to which medicine to use what. So using big data and machine language and using all those technology, when I'm able to give a proper output according to the doctor analysis and things like that through this website, so it will make a big breakthrough, no, sir. So is that possible?
No, I
This
agree with
opportunity is there in the market.
No, the opportunity is there, but your struggle is going to be how will you get the data to feed your big data engine, right?
So yeah, I got your point, sir. Basically, in an initial time, I'll be approaching a lot of universities to put in data inside about their research and everything. So we only depend on World Health Organization data as of now. So we really trust on them only. So even a lot of people could have done their thesis, which is not even shown out in the public. So it is this particular domain is showing giving an opportunity to show their analytics in one single shot. For example, one single medicine where doctor is searching for a prescription. So a lot of people could have done some analytics. Those data output, which I'm able to show in one single shot, it is going to help the patient save in the short period of time, as well as it will improve the doctor's experience very faster. That is what I thought when I'm able to use it. Initial days I'll struggle, sir.
No, it's a very good idea. The gestation period would be long. So please prepare your family that the ROI on this is going to be a long term. But it's a great idea. If you can even just, instead of saying general health, if you can say specifically on nutrition or psychiatry or neuro is very complex. But if you can something on a specialty area first, you will even get funded. So there is no expertise available with Indian experience, Indian data.
Got your point, sir. So this will create an opportunity for all doctors also, no, sir. Maybe this platform will be an eye opener for everybody, because why IT has that platform? Why not medical? That is what my urge. So I searched everywhere. Does any other platform which is similar to this idea, sir? As of now,
no, IT is a very, very open source methodology. So, and when you say you are an IT engineer, many of them have never done computer science also, right? So IT allowed for and welcomed people who had logic and transferable skills to come and learn a language to program. Medicine is not that. Medicine is a highly regimented and regulated education system. So the people who are consuming your knowledge are going to test and validate you a lot more than IT. And many a time you will see that they are close-minded. That's why I said you will have a long gestation period. People won't buy into this idea unless you really are able to do it. But certainly I would encourage to say build a specialty and be passionate about it and see if you can. And I don't know if you can afford to be a full-time entrepreneur on such ideas, or you have to be a part-time entrepreneur while you work midnight oils. But initially, take care of your family, because it may not bring home the salary that you need. If you are independently wealthy, it is something you should try.
Very much.
Yeah. We had Ravi, and after the Ravi, V, and Ram and Rajagopal.
Rajagopal.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Rajgopal.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, Medal has facility for COVID-19 testing, sir.
Medall has the capability to do what we call as the RT-PCR method,
Okay.
but that capability was introduced about 6 months back in our central reference lab in Indy, and it was not NABL certified. I think the certification is happening as we speak. The guys have come because there is a rule that to get a test approved for NABL, you must have data for 6 months. So, but today I know for a fact that the government is keen to approve us. And because there is a significant shortage of this particular test capability and capacity in Tamil Nadu. So I'm hoping that we will get that approved very soon and we will be able to do. However, there are other tests that are getting approved, like point of care technology, and which is basically testing the antibodies with a strip. That I think we will be able to launch, and then very soon there are Swadesh protocols that I am working on, which is using common tests like biochemistry and hematology, where we have looked at multiple values and done a correlation. It's a group of think tank people that we have put together, and with chest x-ray that we can help. So those are also potentially, we need to get government approval or buy-in from a lot of doctors. Quite a few doctors are getting excited with the protocol that we have developed. For those of you, there is a simple device called as a pulse ox outside the scope. So please, if you can buy it, just test it. And if your readings are below 95 for the pulse oximeter, you should worry a bit, not panic. But if it is in the 97, 98 at resting, you're okay. Because one of the things that we are seeing that the oxygen saturation comes down substantially. But again, these are not approved by ICMR, and we are trying to lobby, but they are swamped with ideas. So does Medall have the capability? Yes.
And one more question, sir. Sir, government, because why I asked this question, government has not mentioned name of the testing centers. That's why I asked this question, sir.
No, I told you that. It is approved by ICMR and it will be hopefully announced very soon. It was not the first list that came in.
And Medal has any future idea of coming into share market, sir?
Oh, IPO you mean? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, IPO, sir. Yes, sir.
It will take time. I don't run it, but run day-to-day of Medall anymore. However, I sit on the board. And we always look at opportunities, but it will take time. It will take time. We don't want to rush into a public offering, particularly now.
And next one, a couple of more we can take. Ravi K, Rajagopal, we had anybody else we left out?
Ram is here.
Ram. Can you please unmute Ram?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ram.
Sir, I'm a wedding card manufacturer, and
Okay.
I have a showroom, retail showroom in Karur, Tamil Nadu, and I want to know the future of wedding card industry, sir. How it will be, because the marriage halls are not allowed to book fresh dates, fresh functions. It has been government has asked not to book fresh functions. What will be the future, and when will we be having the normal business?
Well, I think tough question at this point in time, Ram, for giving a specific answer. I think lockdown has to be removed, and we will hope that that is done in the next 15 days, because most states have already extended it. and this entire social distancing is the only way to contain this virus. So even when the lockdown is removed, will big weddings be allowed?
Yes, sir.
That is a big question. I still remember my sister's wedding in 1973. We didn't have food properly in India. Food was rationed. So there was guest control. So we couldn't have more than 100 guests. And it is not easy in our kind of families to have 100 guests. So we had to, the controllers will come and count the number of LIs that was put. So we had to do so many different things to make sure that everybody who came for the wedding was fed. Similarly, I think we are going to see some constraints here because of social distancing. But don't lose heart. Don't lose heart. I think somehow survive. It's only a matter of few months, and maybe come up with innovative ideas to do birthday cards and customized cards from kids in America to the parents, which is relevant with memories of them. Come up with some new ideas and use the technology that you use. Instead of print, can you do a e-invite or a e-card or a well-wishing? So I'm sure that the next 1 or 2 months will be very tough from a cash flow point of view but weddings are not going to stop. So I don't think that you need to worry long term, but you have to somehow survive the short term. And maybe time for you is there now to think of new ideas. Perfect industry where you can use your creative talents to come up with new ideas and scale up those ideas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I think if any industry will come back, for sure it is wedding industry. So you can be happy about that. I think, printing COVID memories of different families for preserving them digitally for the future could be a big business idea, because we don't have memories of some of the old things, but not even tsunami. But maybe this could be a good way to, remember some of these moments for future. The next one, Priya.
Hello, sir. This is Santosh.
Hi, Santosh.
Hi, sir. Sir, so I have an idea, sir. So because I'm into that mask deal trading thing for past 3 years, and recently I am astonished that most of the traders or dealers who are into this line, like between the buyer and the seller, they are making a lot of profit out of it, thus leading to the increased cost of masks and other PPE equipments, sir. So I have an idea about creating a platform that connects buyer and seller through us, so that the cost will be cut down. Only we will be there, and myself with a team of 3 are planning for that. But what is your call on it, sir? Like how do you think that we can take it further?
Yeah, this idea for many, not for masks specifically, but for anything generally, has been tried out. Flipkart is a classic example of online ordering and directly delivery, and they manage the supply chain in the back end. It has been done in almost all the industry. Pharmaceutical industries are also trying to cut out the stockist by all these e-medicine suppliers that are coming up. So the idea is not new. I would say that, make sure your sourcing is powerful, and quality of your whatever product you want to sell, particularly in the healthcare sector. It is going to be, if you're looking at a short-term, immediate opportunity, that makes a lot of sense. There will be consumers who will be willing, but how will you deliver during the lockdown or when the lockdown is removed? That's a challenge. But if you can come up with that idea, but it can be a broad factor. Why would Flipkart not sell a mask directly to a consumer is a question you need to ask. They have the wherewithal. Why would Amazon not do it directly? And what would be your leverage or differentiation over them?
Okay. I am not sure with that, sir. But what is the thing that's running inside my mind is that if we create a platform that connects only the manufacturers who are like we will cross verify with them, so we can get assured that they are a standard manufacturer, and then we can connect directly with the buyers, so that in bulk, whoever needs in bulk can deal with us. No, sir.
No, no,
That's
you're familiar with IRCTC for railway booking. You're familiar with all the hotel bookings that is going on, right? If you looked at that industry, we all went to a travel agent who had they had some kind of a massive distributor from Northwest Airlines or American Airlines and all that. That whole supply chain has been disrupted significantly. So what is it that you are doing for masks specifically that is not going to be available on other platforms like Amazon, like Flipkart, and how will you advertise your product platform? The manufacturers are already tied up. Those guys would be tied up with people like Amazon and Flipkart, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So be careful. Careful.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Priya, one of the last questions with Brian Nunes. Can you unmute Brian?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name is Brian.
Brian, yeah.
Yeah. Sir, we basically in the business of organizing seminars and conferences on an offline mode. As in, like we do it in a venue. But I think so with this COVID-19 things, business is going to be really turbulent for a company like us for the simple of reason because many organizations wouldn't want their executives to go and attend events like us personally. As well as there's going to be a lot of budgets is going to go haywire, and attending events and seminars is going to be the last priority for for companies in this what I say challenging times. So you see that offline online platform as so we should shift our business from offline to online business so that we still remain in business and then cut down on our staff and something like that. What's your take on this, sir?
No, I think you are already thinking the right direction. I think it is going to be stressed for a long period of time. When I say long, it could be even the entire financial year ahead of us, right?
Okay.
People will not engage in too many of these, but the reality is these are very critical. So beyond that time frame, there will also be a boom of those activities because when people are working from home, you
Okay.
have to energize them, you have to think of motivating them. So the picture may change. They may want to have a town hall more often in small community halls, get some music star going and then food there, and also some leaders coming and speaking to them. That shift can happen. And beyond, I'm not saying immediately, but in the 6 months to 1 year, those are all opportunities. The greatest that you have is relationship with these companies. So I would work on that relationship and find ideas that will sell during these tough times.
Because ours is mostly corporate-based events, sir. As in, like corporates, attendees are all senior executives and middle management executives who attend corporate-based topics.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That I'm saying either they are corporate meetings. Now, let's assume that people start working from home.
Agreed.
But they still need to be having some kind of a bonding, right? Long term. Employees have to feel that they are not just working out of the home and they are a robot. They need to. So there have to be events that can be thought of to increase employee morale. where corporate executives come. So I'm talking about new ideas that can come into your business. But your customers are the same. They may spend on employee morale, they may not spend on middle management conferences. And you should also think of digital platforms for providing some value add to them. That's what I would do if I were in your business, because the next 6 months I would still cut cost boldly and somehow survive and start looking for ideas as to how to go digital also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brian.
So we kind of almost come to the end of this. I don't think there are any more questions that people raise the hand at least. No, okay, we'll take one last one. Rajesh Dam. Priya, can you unmute Rajesh Dam on Healthcare? We'll take that as the last question before we conclude.
Hi, sir. This is Rajesh.
Rajesh, yeah.
Thanks for giving opportunity. It was wonderful to hear all the suggestions from you. And I'm from freemed.in. We are a OneGen Healthcare Private Limited. We are into omni-chain home delivery pharmacy model, and we are planning to expand into a franchise model. I just want to know, we have two options. One is giving the complete shop to a franchise, or running by our own management. I need some suggestions on that. Second is we are looking we just want to know, are you a HNI investor in healthcare sector? If yes, how we can reach you out? Thank you.
Yeah, you can reach me out through. Are you a member of TIE? If you are
I'm a member. Yeah, I'm a member of TIE Bangalore, not Chennai.
So Chennai, yeah, you could write to TIE, or you can send a mail to rajuv.raman@gmail.com. My personal rajuv.raman. And I think in terms of your business, my personal experience is franchising is not as easy as it looks. And you need to have very strict processes, controls, and systems in place to monitor. Otherwise, you will have under revenue reporting and pilferages, in the sense that you may think that you are producing and sending the stock to them. They may buy from others and sell and not show it. So what I call as pilferages and leakages that are there. So you have to be very careful. But opening up stores is also not easy, because pharmaceutical industry, the number of retail stores are unbelievable already. So I would be careful and see, can you go directly to home and supply rather than have stores. You may have warehouses in certain critical places and think of a supply chain to do it.
Yeah, sure. So that's what we will be talking in detail. I will reach you out in mail. Thanks for that. rajuv.rajan@gmail.com.
Raman, M-A-N. Yeah.
Okay, Raman@gmail.com. Sure, sir. Because ours is into same way. We are not planning to open multiple pharmacies. We are planning to open one pharmacy in every district headquarters, so we can able to reach out to the customers more efficiently. And our whole model is kind of an online pharmacy, but not directly. We are not directly coming into online pharmacy. We will have a store in each and every town capital, so the customers also can know there is a physical presence of the store. So yeah, I will reach you out. Thanks for that.
Thank you. I think that kind of comes to takes us to the end of the session almost. Thank you very much. Raju, if you could actually conclude this with a message or thought that you want to share for all our participants, we can do that. Thank you.
Now, my concluding message is that we have talked about the tough times ahead of us. Prepare for worse days and hope that the days that we are going to come across are going to be a lot easier than the preparation that we have made. And build relationship, particularly with banks and your investors, and cash is king. Try to conserve cash as much as possible and create new ideas and look for opportunities. As leaders, be calm, build confidence in your team, communicate with confidence and clarity, be compassionate, but remember, you don't have an unlimited checkbook either. Don't make promises that you can deliver, and don't worry too much about competition, and don't start bringing in too many consultants. Go with your gut, go with your instinct, and stay very close to your customers and consumers if you can. Start digitizing your business and start analyzing your customer data and start looking for signals for consumer behavior change. I think there is an opportunity that is there, and certainly be bold in cutting costs and question every penny at this point in time. And the impact of the slowdown will be different in different parts of the country. It will be different in every state. It will be different in every sector. It will be different in every district. So please plan very carefully. Every breakdown can be a breakthrough. So please look for these breakthrough ideas. Stay very positive as a leader. Make sure that you are constantly getting clarity in your thought. Spend time, take care of your health. Don't allow that stress that you have in business to carry it to home too much, and start looking for potentially, what are the other new set of customers. Hang on to your existing customers. Don't let them go. Your existing customers will bail you out of all the trouble. And hang on to good employees too, and make sure that they all are contributing in the crisis that is ahead of us. And I wish each and every one of you good health first, and I'm sure you will survive, and we will all collectively survive. We have to face reality and be ready for the potential slowdown that we can think of. But I'm sure we will come out of this like we have come out of many crises in the past. Thank you all. Thank you, Rangap. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the entire Thai team and each and every one of you who have been there. Thank you very much, and all the best. All the best.